Welcome to Get Over It, the consciousness transforming podcast for exceptional 21st century living. Folks, we've got one of my favorite authors back. We have Stephen Paul Chong back, and we're going to talk about his latest book, The Afterlife, A Journey to Now You Know What Will Happen. So if you're ever curious or concerned about what happens when we make that little transition, you're going to get some answers today. Now, the information shared on Get Over It uses intuitive and pragmatic insight to help you shift your consciousness to breakthrough energy that is no longer needed. Yes, we're going to help you let go of the BS that you've been holding back, but you guys know I always ask, are you truly ready to? And by the way, folks, BS is belief system. A bit about me for my new listeners: intuitive since birth. I'm a third generation intuitive with over 3 decades of experience supporting people to break through the blocks along their path. I'm a strategist for personal and professional transformation, revealing cutting-edge information that enables you to prosper and thrive. I spent 25 successful years in corporate America as an executive sales professional, and I am the founder of Healing Visions Ministries and the Northern California Children's Education Network, a 501c3 nonprofit. I provide consultations and healings in all areas of life that heal the mind-body-spirit connection, allowing you to live your very best life. My clients tell me that I keep it real while providing them with accurate information to assist them along their journey as a spirit living a human existence. But they also say, if you really don't want to know, don't ask Monique. My background includes a doctorate in metaphysics, Reiki master teacher, ordained minister, and clinical hypnotherapist. So whether you are stressed, depressed, or possessed, I can help. To find out more about me and the services that I offer, go to my website, and that's MoniqueChapman.com. And I invite you to like me on Facebook and follow me on LinkedIn. Folks, I got off of Twitter, so Twitter and I don't exist together anymore. Now, if you like the podcast, help a girl out. Give me some stars, subscribe. Love to hear from you. Okay. Now, my guest today, Stephen Chong, Master of Education, is a speaker and author of 6 published novels. Over the past 30 years, he has provided guidance and motivation to countless people through his inspirational messages and ability to bring the best out in people. Stephen is a gifted storyteller, and his wise observations of modern work and personal life provide deep insight how to realize your highest potential through a rich and fulfilling life. Stephen's stories help make this life and the eternal next a far better place. And you can check him out at his website, and that's stephenchong.com.au, stephenchong.com.au. Welcome back, Stephen.
Monique, it is so good to see you. There has been much water under the bridge since our last discussions.
I know, we were just talking. It's been about 3 years, right?
It has, yes, far too long.
Yeah, because I was telling you the orange thing was still in office, and I'm actually, folks, as I'm recording this, wearing orange. It's really weird. But
it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. This wonderful new book, The Afterlife. What is it about? You put it in a wonderful story form, and I absolutely love stories because it helps the information, as far as I'm concerned, stick with you. So walk us through, what is The Afterlife all about?
Well, Monique, at one level, to me, it's a guide to the hereafter. What happens to us after we cross over the veil, consequential of the actions we've taken in life. I describe it like a scenic, in the writing process, it was like a scenic railway tour. Like I was taken to these different places, and I was like taking dictation. I was seeing these things and hearing this music and going, oh my God, but that's what it was like. And that's how the story evolved. But I've got to tell you something really interesting.
Okay.
It was about 3 months after I'd finished writing, and I'm thinking, I'm missing something here. It takes me a while. The corpuscles don't work so well. but what I recognised in the writing was not just a story, but embedded in the story were these laws, and I call them the laws of heaven and earth. metaphysical isms, if you like, that tell us how to live our life better. Now, and I've written them down. I found 15.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you know,
Okay.
which was kind of cool. And there might be more, but they're the ones I found. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. But they're like laws that help us live life to the fullest, to realise our higher purpose. I'm going, whoa, I didn't realise that when I was writing the story, writing the book.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. The 15 laws. Now, for our guests' sake, are they included in this book, or is that the next book to come?
Well, no, don't even go there. Well, I tell you what, I'll give you a couple, and I've got them here beside me, so you don't mind if I read.
Yeah.
Let me just pick one.
I'll pick a couple. I'm fine.
Okay. What you have cause to affect in your fellow man is what declares your place in heaven.
Interesting.
Isn't that interesting? What you have caused to affect in your fellow man. So what you sow shall you reap, but what you cause to another declares what level in heaven you attend. And here's another one. We are all one in spirit. What you have done to another, you do to yourself.
That's like the golden rule.
It's a golden rule. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. So, you know, I say it took me 3 months to recognize that these things were inherent in the story. So anyway, but yes, I must tell you, the book itself, the writing was just amazing. I mean, we'll talk a bit about it later, but, you know, I'm seeing these things and hearing the music, and it was like I heard the words in my head, and, you know, so writing this stuff and I'm going, wow, where is this coming from?
So is the book actually channeled, because it is story form, novel form? So is the book channeled, or the words channeled, or is it the energy that is channeled?
Oh, that's a good question, Monique. And I've got to tell you, I'm just an ordinary dude, you know, and the term channeling I'm not comfortable with.
Okay.
But what it was like tuning in. So, you know, I'll give you the background to the writing, because I'd actually given up writing after book number 5, Bodies of Consequence. I said, I'm done. I'm not doing anymore.
Okay.
It's all over. You
Surprise.
know, I'm getting old, and you know, I want to plant tomatoes in the garden. but you can't. Behind me, you can't quite see. We're in rainforest, and like a good 60-odd-year-old, one day I'm up cleaning out the gutters, about 5 meters off the ground.
Okay.
And the ladder slipped, and I fell through, you know, all these plate glass windows behind me. Ladder went through all that. I'm on all this glass everywhere. I've fallen in amongst all this glass, and I can't feel anything. I thought, uh-oh.
That's not good.
No, not good. But lucky, I on the day, my wife was here. Normally, it was a Saturday, and normally she's off doing things. And we're very remote. So if she hadn't been here, I'd be dead.
Okay.
Anyway, but to continue the story, about it took me about 3 months to recover. And in that time, I had the title going through my head, you know, the Afterlife of Journey 2, and it wouldn't leave me alone. So eventually I said, okay, to the universe, I'm in. I'll whatever it is you want me to write, I'll write. But the afterlife, what do I know? So you have to show me. So I sat with that confirmation. I sat, and every time I sat, it was just there. It was the sea. It was like looking through this character's eyes, and I'm seeing what he's seeing. And so the music and the magnificent colours and the buildings was all there, and I just had to write what I saw. So I call it channeling, if you will. I just prefer it was just listening or tuning in, something like that.
Okay, it's kind of like when God, whomever spoke to Moses, you hear the voice, you hear the sound, you smell the smells. Now you say that what we do here affects where we go in heaven, or what levels that we go in heaven. What about if let's take something right out of the news. Here in the United States, there's this big thing going on with these 4 college students. They were killed in their room, and there was 2 other students that were in the room, but they didn't get killed in the house, I should say, and didn't get killed. So the person that killed those 4 young people, do you believe, based on what you received, that they have the opportunity to go to one of the levels of heaven, or are they going someplace different altogether?
To answer that question, let me give you two situations.
Okay.
And the first one is the main character, whose name was Athar, in life was abused by the clergy and ultimately took his own life, and he was stuck in purgatory. Now, and this is the main character, the one whose eyes I'm seeing through. Now, he was released from these, and I saw them as mists, or this purgatory, because he was stuck in there by virtue of his guilt and his anger towards people that had done bad to him. And he was released from that purgatory by the bishop of the see, under whose insouciance he was abused. So forgiveness was at the heart of both parties' elevation into the heavenly realms. So to get back to your very good question, that the heart of that terrible incident has got to be forgiveness for one to the other, in order for ascension, elevation to the higher levels of heaven to occur. But the other thing I must tell you, just apropos to that, one of the places that I was taken to, I called them the nether regions. Now, if you can imagine, I saw it like a desolate, but like a forest fire, and they're taken through this desolate land, and through this big portal. It was horrendous. I saw these huge vortices, power circles, and these souls were trapped in these vortices, and they couldn't. They were. It wasn't God's judgment for what they had done. Rather, they were trapped by choice. And one thinks of the anger, the 7 deadly sins, lust, gluttony, that sort of. But they were trapped in these vortices by their own choice. And there were, outside of these vortices, were these angels in waiting that were waiting for these souls to redeem them, to repent, if you will, and release themselves from this burden of choice. And then they were taken off into different levels. So I don't know if that entirely answers your question, but it brings you back to. I'll read you another law of heaven. Now, where was it about forgiveness? Law number 8: forgiveness is at the heart of your ultimate realization. So,
say that again.
Forgiveness is at the heart of your ultimate realization. So I guess that means that if somebody does bad to you, one has to forgive for future further elevation into heavenly realms. That's about the best I can do.
Okay. And do you think there's a case where people who make the transition aren't willing to forgive? Because I mean, the pain is still raw, hurt, whatever.
I'm absolutely certain of it.
And then they would be stuck in purgatory?
I would think so. I would think so, Monique. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. I shared with you before the show that my brother-in-law passed away, oldest stepson passed away. My uncle just buried
Oh,
3 weeks ago. It's a lot of death in a short period of
oh,
time. That's happened all
yeah,
within actually 9 months, not even a year.
yeah.
And you shared that, you had someone very close to you pass over. Why is it that so many people, it seems, are finding they got to make their escape now? They don't want to wait. Because I mean, some of these people that are talking about were young. Okay. My son and my brother-in-law were relatively young. And why are they choosing to leave now if you believe in the fact that we contract to do certain things at certain times? So then in that contract, we have our exit, strategy.
Yes.
But it seems like more people are finding more creative ways to leave Earth now.
Oh, well, interesting doesn't even begin to describe it, doesn't it? But yes, I think it comes back to the burden of choice. You take, when I fell off this ladder, I am absolutely certain. I mean, that was obviously a crisis or a pivot point for me, and I could have quite easily said, "Okay, I'm done. This is all too hard." But in what I know is, in my case, I have a job to do. I've got a purpose, like you and all the wisdom that you have. We have purpose to fulfill and a determination to fulfill it.
Okay.
So we remain fixed to that and trust that we will be guided and given the gifts to enable us to fulfill that purpose. But the burden of choice remains. If that becomes too hard, it's okay. And we go to our Father and know that we'll be loved and blessed in the doing, and not judge, harshly. But what you and I know is, with the strong determination we have and the gifts that we've been given, that we've got a job to do. And my goodness, we will do it to the best of our capabilities.
Okay, so taking that a step further, what happens when we do make the transition and we have a certain BS belief system, and say the belief system is heaven and hell, and you know that you've done wrong because you just murdered 6 people. So you're not expecting necessarily to go to heaven, just like there are different levels of heaven. Are there different levels of the opposite? And I use the opposite because some people don't believe, in those two opposing energies.
And you have the gift of having read the book, and you remember the bishop who was rather self-righteous in his beliefs, and and he was stripped of all of that through his evolution in the heavenly realms. He was denuded, if you will, of those not so correct beliefs of heaven and earth. But I think the kernel for that character was his willingness to discard what was obviously not true, and to then be open to the realization of what is, or in the heavenly realms, that enabled his progression to the higher levels. So the other interesting thing about that, Monique, I think, is that one of the other laws, let me find which number.
Okay.
Let me see. The emperor in heaven, the emperor wears no clothes.
Okay. What number is that?
Oh, no, I just... let me see. It's here, and I'm having a boy's look.
Okay.
Oh, here it is. Number 9. In heaven, the emperor wears no clothes.
Okay.
So what that tells me is, whatever our station, whatever our, whether we're king or pauper, whatever we believe gets stripped away, and the truth gets revealed. So you can't, as you remember, the bishop in the book, he was so self-righteous and said, well, I've been your bishop, I've been your man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jack, that doesn't matter. So all that gets swept away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, then we go to different places to learn for the next incarnation.
Oh,
Is
yes.
that how it goes? So a lot of people on earth either know or believe in heaven, know or believe in hell. But what about the afterlife, the life between lives? There's not a lot of information really shared about that. So can you enlighten us on, what happens? I mean, we lose our body, the soul still lives. We reflect on, I guess overall how we've been, good or bad, or
Yes. Yeah, again, it's a very good question. I'll tell you again what I saw. Not and what I saw were these myths of purgatory, where so you pass over, and in these myths, this purgatory, you get to look in the mirror of self-reflection to see what you've done. Well, the life review. This
Okay.
all flashes before your eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to face yourself for what? Not God, not on his mighty throne judging you, but you
Okay.
face
You're
yourself.
judging yourself.
You're judging yourself, absolutely. And from there, what I saw was moving out of you become. How do I best describe this? Become robed in. What I saw was that like a head to tail robe, like our aura, if I can put it that way. So we're in this energy field, and the souls were coming out of this mist into heavenly realms, and they were clothed, some in bright, beautiful, white, shining, beautiful colours that I couldn't even begin to describe, and flashes of all different colours. But others were cloaked in dark, like Hessian brown, obviously for things. And my understanding is that other souls in heaven can look at your robe and know exactly what you need.
Ooh. Yeah, so
again, I just relate to what I saw on her. And once the color of the robe designates the pathway you follow. So,
so it's not necessarily true that a husband and wife could pass separately, even years and years apart, but go to the same place and have that meeting, of seeing each other again. If one is bright, light, say yellow, and the other one is a gritty black.
Well, that's again another good question. I would think that love is the bridge. So if that love is the bond between the husband and the wife, or the child and the parent, and that bridge is eternal, and that binds us across all of the lives of eternity. But that love is the bridge. So if that bond is strong and true, then that love endures, and one can move, elevate, evolve from there.
Okay, so the one that is light could help the one that is dark shed some of the darkness. Or
I would think so. I would think that would be the case. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a case where the reverse could happen? That the one that is dark would tell the one that's light, hey, it's more fun over here. Come on over.
I'm not sure that it's going to work that way. No.
Okay.
But it might be that, pardon me, knocking on the computer, that again, forgiveness is the key, inherent between any relationship of importance like husband and wife. There are things to work out. So if forgiveness is required, you remember in the book between the Athar, the main character, and his mother on Earth, where she was a very troubled soul and caused him much distress. But he, in his efforts, he was evolving, and he was cloaked in this beautiful robe, and he was seeing great things. But she was stuck in this Hessian, going down different pathways. And he tried to forgive her for what she'd done, but she wasn't willing to accept that forgiveness. So she had to follow that
that path.
pathway. So love is a bridge, and forgiveness is the key that unlocks us to higher levels that I can see.
Okay. Now, in your book, you talk about various interesting places, but let's talk about three of them. The first one is the healing arena.
Yeah, that was very interesting. One of the again, I can just what I saw. So the character approached this like a huge Colosseum, like the Roman Colosseum, and it was full to the brim of all these beautiful souls, and they're all chanting in unison the Om sound. So it's just lifting to the stratosphere. And in the middle of this arena were these recliner lounges, and these beautiful angels, Seraphim, brought in these disabled souls. They were crippled. Their souls their spirits had been deformed, and they were made to lie on these lounge chairs. And in walked this beautiful angelic being, and he raised his hands and started to manipulate the energy into a magnetic ball. And the ball was spinning. Again, this is what I'm seeing. I'm like, and this beams of light shot out of this magnetic ball into the souls that were reclining on the lounges. And after the ball was withdrawn, these souls were reborn, renewed. Their souls were cleansed.
Okay.
And what I learned subsequently from that healing arena is that soul burdens or sins imposed by others are not held by the self.
Okay.
So if I do something really bad to you to hurt you and cause you deformity of spirit, you don't suffer consequences of that action.
Okay.
I do. So you are relieved of those burdens. Doesn't relieve you from the burdens that you have caused others,
right?
But what others have imposed on you. So these souls were totally renewed in this healing arena. Okay. And I couldn't even begin to describe the colours and the lights to you, but just use your magic. It's like colours and lights of tenfold the colours of a rainbow.
Yeah, I just feel the energy, and it just feels glorious. It really feels good. What about the nether regions? Well,
that was the one I was described before. That's those vortices. That's when they were taken down to those. So yeah, we've covered that. But that was again just something to behold, because I'm observing all of this through the eyes of this character, and I'm going, what the it's. And I'm just doing my best to describe it. But importantly. And I remember asking the question, this is not God's judgment. This is the choice. People are locked into these. They can't escape from their own choices. And there are angels waiting for them to redeem themselves, repent, and then they're taken away and healed and evolved through heavenly realms.
Okay. Well, let's talk about something that really just bothers me, and that's the death of children. I understand that people come in and there's a reason and this, that, and the other. But when you get a newborn who's 2, days old and it passes, it's like, why? Or then a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 14-year-old, it seems like because here on earth we're programmed to live a while and do certain things, it just seems when that life is truncated that there's something, I don't know, wrong, weird, hurtful.
Yeah. Monique, I'll try my best to describe that I call it the Hall of Children. I got taken into this beautiful building, and there's this blue mist. I can remember this blue mist pervading, and there was this most angelic being there who was the guardian for this Hall of Children. And how it was described, and even now I'm getting chills because I can feel the love that was in this building.
Okay.
It was just extraordinary. And these children would, whether they were fledgling little babes, souls in arms, or young children, they were nurtured with so much love. I cannot even begin to describe to you. There is, and again, what I understand, there is no deprivation for children that have left the earth plane early are nurtured so beautifully in the heavenly realms by the Father and his angelic beings, that if you saw what I saw and felt what I felt, you would go, oh yes, that hurts big time. However, I know my child is so beautifully loved in the heavenly realms,
So
nurtured.
there's no fear for the youngsters, or wanting to come back and be with family members or anything like that. Is it like what? And my understanding is, if someone adult age, they pass over, they look at, they can look back down at the physical body and say, okay, that's where my soul used to be, but they can gather themselves and move on. Would a baby have the same information, if you will, to do something like that?
Let me, in fact, funnily enough, you asked this question because I've got the passage right here in front of me. I'll just read the paragraph, if you don't mind.
Please, yes.
All children who have left the earth plane in the early stages will continue their education and well-being. All shall receive proper instruction to the ways of heaven. No child shall be left behind in their education of the divine laws of heaven and earth. They are all, without exception, given the knowledge required to progress through the stages of the divine.
Okay.
So no child knows any deprivation. None are left behind. They are all nurtured to prime.
Okay, so
Spirit.
I got another question for you. What about our fur babies when they make their crossing, or the animals in the woods or wherever, when they make does everybody go, to that point, if you will? Because I call it a point because there's many paths to get there, many different belief systems, religions, or whatever, but they're all talking about that one point of source. So
yes.
when you experienced, did you happen to see animals or feel them?
No, I cannot say that I did. No, I did not see animals in the discourse, in the description. So I could only give you a point of view on that. So I don't know.
Share your point of view.
But love again is a bond. Why would it not be that our love for a furry being as much love is king? So if love is the bridge that helps us evolve to higher levels. So if it requires that a furry being becomes part of that journey, well, I'm sure it's the case.
Okay, so since we're here to learn about love, at least that's my BS belief system, but we're here to learn about unconditional love, we all eventually get back to that same point. It's just when and where and how we choose to take that path.
Yes. And I must say that, again, one of the other things I saw, there were souls in heaven that were, how would I put it, content to be, to stay where they were and to learn to love, or whatever level they were. But there were others, like our central characters, that said, there's more. I've got service to perform. I've got more to do. So they learnt and relieved themselves of lifelong burdens, and they were elevated to the higher realms.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a really weird question. We make our transition, the body is left behind. Does it really matter how the body is disposed of? Some people say, well, if you're cremated, that's an abomination, or if you're in the ground, you're going to be there forever because of ashes to ashes, dust to dust. So is there any energy, because I don't think there's any judgment, but is there any energy on how we choose to dispose of the shell that we wore as souls being here?
That's a good question. I again, from the book's descriptives, I have no indication of that. So again, I can only give you what I believed, not what I
Mhm.
saw.
Okay.
So, and what I would believe is it wouldn't make any difference. The soul is eternal, loved eternally. The snake sheds its skin because it doesn't need it anymore. It
Mhm.
evolves. Same
Mhm.
with us. The body becomes tired and it's fulfilled to the best of its ability, its purpose here on earth.
Mhm.
So we have to go back then to the source, to
Okay.
renew, to revive, to
Mhm.
review.
Mhm. Do
Um,
we ever get off this hamster wheel of coming and going and coming and going and coming and going and
I
coming and
would hope so. I hope so.
do you think that we have to, our soul has to learn a certain amount of information in order to make that jump to truly ascend and not have to come back?
I think so. Yes. Yeah. That appears to be very much the case
Okay.
my understanding of. Let me. Perhaps I can answer that as best I can through right near the end. The two main characters, the bishop, Isaiah and Athar, were taken up to really high levels of heaven, and they were shown. And I remember in the writing, I'm trying to describe what I saw in terms of colours and music,
Mhm.
but they what they were shown by this master. Now, I must preface, I tell you something else which is very
Mhm.
interesting about the book. Just as an aside,
Mhm.
all of the characters in the book, uh, when I asked what's this person's name, I
Mhm.
would get it straight away.
Oh, wow.
I had it was just there, like Athar or Samuel or Isaiah. It was just there,
Mhm.
and it was their heavenly name. But this character, the master, I remember asking 3 times, "What is this character's name?"
Mhm.
And I was not given it.
Oh, wow.
So I just in the book is he or she is just called the master because so whether it's Jesus or Buddha
So the one
or
that the name that
whatever,
you don't
I
can't
don't know,
pronounce or don't pronounce. Okay. So you
but
made
I
some
can
pretty high
honestly.
connections.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's the one that he took these two characters up to this highest level of heaven
Mhm.
to show them the colors and the matrix and the music that makes us here in
Mhm.
life. It was so beautiful to see and so hard to describe.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
I
I
had
mean,
trouble.
I can imagine seeing something like that. It's, truly out of this world, and most human minds can't grasp
It
it.
was hard to grasp. Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, I must say that I question myself whether I do what I saw
Mhm.
justice. I guess that's my self-doubt coming in, but it was just so beautiful to see and hear the
Mhm.
music, the colors, but so hard to describe in
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, well, that would make sense because I think that if it's very easy to describe, we'd be able to see it right here plainly on Earth plane, where
Yeah.
it's a different plane. So as you finish this book and reflected back on it, what was the biggest thing that you learned about yourself or your
Uh,
belief system?
life has become just, I'd say, diametrically opposite because we're still a practical being, but life becomes more vivid.
Mhm.
Everything uh, uh, becomes important, and what's not important gets dropped away. We to know that in some ways I'm a mouthpiece for what I saw.
Mhm.
Is really important.
Mhm.
But the other thing, which is really really interesting, I now have no fear of death. So when it's my time, I will embrace it with
Mhm.
knowing that I'll go to heavenly realms having done the best I could possibly do.
Mhm.
Um, that doesn't take away the grief of loss, of course,
No.
you miss, but for oneself that you move to, you don't just fade to dust
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
all over. We go to sit with the Heavenly Father in the house that's prepared for us.
Yeah. It sounds beautiful. And I told somebody not too long ago, I might have even talked about it on air, that, the fall season, and you go out, you look at all the leaves changing colors and you see the beauty. And that's actually death happening right before you. And death is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
But it's hard for us to wrap our minds around the fact that it can be such a beautiful experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like you, we live amongst rainforest here in Cairns. So we're surrounded by all that beauty every day.
Yeah.
It does have a certain majesty about it, and trials and tribulations at times, but it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah, it truly is. Okay, so what do you want people to get out of this book? Why should they get this book instead of the other 10 billion?
Well, it's a very good question. I, for one, am not trying to convert anybody or change their systems of belief. The book for me was a gift, so I give it to people as a present. That's and if when they read the book, they find or uncover their let them find the laws of heaven, for one, because there's probably more in there that I've missed. But what if they experience a mystical transformation, which ultimately what the book is about, for them to create that aha moment and go, oh yeah, I got that. I've done my job. Or if it changes their pathway, turns them from errant pathway onto their true purpose. I've done my job. The book has done its job. So it's not a question of, accept this and this is what it's all about. It's a present for them to open and to find the gift within.
Yeah. Well, I shared the book with a neighbor whose brother had passed away about 9-10 months ago, and she was really, upset. I mean, she's Catholic, she true heaven and hell, and there's nothing in between, and all of that. And after she read the book, she goes, I feel better about death. Still not necessarily accepting, but she felt better about what would happen, afterwards, that the soul is not, just lost someplace and there's no hope for it. So, I mean, if that can reach people on that level, even if it's just that, I mean, it's much, much more, but to me, even if it's just that, to give that peace of mind, helping people with, just being able to accept what happened bit by bit by bit and learn from, life, because we're not supposed to be here forever. And actually, who would want to be,
No, truth to that. Yeah. Oh,
yes.
that's beautiful. They're beautiful. I'm glad your friend has experienced that, because therein lies the essence of the book.
Yeah. And she got it. I mean, she could get out of her Catholic ways and just read and accept information as much as she wanted to accept. So, this is a book that I truly recommend to everybody, because at some point in time, you're going to be affected by the crossing of someone or something. And as you believe, I believe whatever your belief system is, that's kind of the path that you're going to take to where you want to go. So what pearl of wisdom would you like to leave with our audience today regarding?
Oh, my goodness. Let me pick out another law of heaven. How's that?
Okay.
Let me find one. Here we go. Law number 13. If ever there was a separation between the divine and his children, then God's love would not exist.
Wow. That's profound.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
If ever there was a separation between the divine and his children, then God's love would not exist.
Not exist at all. Yeah.
No.
Well, thank you. Wow.
Monique, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. And you have to go. Well, you said you're not writing anymore, right?
Oh, don't hold me to anything that I said before. I don't know. there's more to do, more to see.
Yes.
What tomorrow holds.
Yeah, and you're going to be here for a while, so you might as well make use of your energy while you're here. Folks, we've been speaking with Stephen Chong. The book is A Journey to the Afterlife. Now you know what will happen. If you are interested in the subject at all, please get it. The story is quite riveting. I didn't want to give it away because I tend to do that if I read a book and tell it. So, but once you read the book, you will further understand the concepts of what we've been talking about today. And again, you can check him out at his website, and that's stephenchong.com.au. And please remember that the most important choice that you can make is what you choose to make important. Consider making the masterful choice of discovering a journey to the afterlife. Abundant blessings, light and love to all.